everyone, I have a new layout today. This one has a nice little folding feature that allows me to include more photos in for my story, but it only showcases one photo, and that gives me a lot more room for embellishments and for this busy paper to, I really liked it, so I wanted to make sure that it didn't get covered up that much. So I had to try and find a way to include all the photos I wanted to include and also get this paper used. I'm starting with this stencil that I recently got from Blue Moon Scrapbooking. It's a bunch of crosses or plus signs, and I'm putting some Nouveau embellishment mousse through it. I really love the effect that this embellishment mousse has because it gives it a lot of dimension, a lot of shine, and it just looks gorgeous over your paper. So I'm just, carefully pressing it in here so that I get a nice impression. And a little bit goes a long way. It really does. I really like it. I think mine is a tiny bit dried out now, but it still works perfectly fine. And I'm sure if I spritz it with some water, it'll be just fine. So here I'm lifting off the stencil, and you can see the little plus signs. And you do want to go and clean it right away though, because this will stick on everything. So I went into the sink and washed it with some soap and water. So here's how I'm making my little folding feature for my layout. I'm just taking a piece of regular printer paper, and I'm measuring out how much of a photo mat I want. And then I'm going to do the same thing for the length. I'm going to see how thick of a mat I want around my photo, and then I'm gonna score it on my trimmer using my bone folder, and then I'm gonna measure it out for the second photo, and I'm just gonna do that same thing. And this is very cool because there's like a variety of ways that you can use this on your page. So I'm gonna, before I show you, before I glue anything down, I'm going to show you different ways that you could actually use this. So here I've folded it kind of like an accordion. So I have a little flap and then two bigger flaps. So the bigger ones, see, you can adhere the small one and then make the top one go up or down depending on your page where the opening for your page protectors is, or if you would rather have somebody take the page out so that they can flip through it, then you can set that up a little bit differently. And I'll show you here how I chose to do mine. So I'm putting those three pictures, and I'm choosing to do it this way so that one of the photos will be adhered to the small flap, and you have to pull it down. So first we're going to lift this top one. You can lift that up, and then you can pull the bottom one down, and then that'll reveal a picture that's in the middle. There we go. So that's what I chose to do for my layout. But another way that you can do it is if you just wanted to kind of have three photos, if you don't mind them touching, or if you want to put like some not wax paper, like tissue paper in between them, you can just have this with two pieces of paper. I mean, with that folded piece of paper, so it would be those two big pieces, and then you would just adhere that to your scrapbook layout. You could also do like a little pocket like this. It would just have to be a little bigger, or you would have to cut the photos so that there would be room. So you would put the photos in there like that, and then you would add little tabs to the top of the photos so that you could pull them out. And that's another way that I like to do to include more photos in my layout. Now I was looking at these pictures here, and then I had to stop filming and then go and talk to my husband, because I noticed in the picture there was some lady filming us as the kids were hitting the piñata. There was a lady there filming us that was not a guest of ours. So it was just like this random lady in the park, I guess, that decided to either was confused about which party she was supposed to be in, or she had never seen a piñata before. I'm not really sure, but she was actually filming or taking pictures as we were hitting the piñata. So that was a little strange, and I ran over to ask him if he knew who this person was, because it's really weird to find some random, stranger taking pictures of kids at your party. So I just wanted to check with him, but yeah, it turns out we don't know who she is, and she's just there filming or taking pictures, which is really strange. And I'm surprised we didn't notice at the time. I guess we were really busy and really didn't notice her, but yeah, that's weird. So here I found this little tab from the Illustrated Faith 12 by 12 sticker sheet, and I'm just adding it to this photo so that it'll be easier to, so I'll have a place to grab to pull the photo down. So here's my top photo, and then I feel like this one also needs a tab so that it'll be easier to grab. And I really don't mind having people take my layout out of the sheet protector and, flip through it, or flip through this little booklet, or pull things out, because I usually put hidden journaling and hidden photos in my layouts. So I really don't mind. I mean, I can always get a different sheet protector for it, put it in a different album. I'm not very picky about any of that. So now that little tab that I put there was actually a little sticker thing that was a ticket, and it was not meant to be a tab, so it was sticky in the back, and I needed to make it not sticky and make it a little stronger. So I put a little bit of paper behind it and some adhesive so that the paper would stick to the photo mat. And now I have a pretty nice tab, and it says happy. So here I'm just cutting around the edges there, because there's these little notches on the little ticket. So this is how my little flip book is gonna look, and I'm gonna do my journaling right there, right in the back of my main photo. That's another little perk about these little flip books, hidden photos, is that you can always just have more space for journaling. So here is a close-up of my little stenciled plus signs. And I'm gonna start putting my photo down and putting this layout together now. So this is just a scrap I had, and it just happened to work with this, so I used it. And it's a very, very old piece of paper, actually. Now I've gone and put a doily behind my photo, and I'm gonna start layering right here on top. I wasn't really sure where I was gonna embellish, because I didn't want to cover up too many of the words. So I decided to just try doing a cluster up here, and I went through a lot of different embellishments. I pulled out the Tea Lightful from Pebbles, Maggie Holmes Chasing Dreams, this Cream and Sugar, was it Cream and Sugar? Yes, from Doodlebug, and this is called Cake Shop. And I just started clustering anything that had to do with, birthdays, cakes, and parties. So here I am pulling this I Love You, because the shape just seemed to go really well there between the camera and the cakes. The shape just worked, and the sentiment worked, and the color worked, so I just used it. These are from the new Carousel collection by Maggie Holmes. And they're kind of clear, kind of see-through, but they do have a tint. So this one has a pink and blue tint to them. So because there's so much blue in my photo and no blue at all in the background, I'm adding the ones with blue tint. And you'll see me change the one that I had added that was pink. I'm gonna change that to a blue one because I realized that that was an opportunity for a little visual triangle, and so that worked out. Now I'm gonna get some of these little heart stickers and just put one near each of those blue words. I like these little stickers because there's just like a ton of little hearts and little macaroons and cookies and stuff. So you get a whole bunch of stickers here. And it's just really nice to have so many. And then this one is Maggie Holmes Chasing Dreams. And all those little plus signs just worked so well here. I decided to add as many as I could. Right, sprinkled alongside the plus signs that I stenciled in. And then I found this bigger one that was on the sheet, and so I'm gonna move, I'm gonna add that one on top and closer to my cluster. And yeah, see, I realized that this bigger one needs to go right here, closer to the action, closer to my cluster, and then that other one could be out a little more. So now that my design is spread out more from the top of the page towards the bottom. And I really wanted a little edge here under my photo, but I couldn't find anything that worked. So I'm just doodling a black border because that kind of helps anchor my photo down. So I'm just doodling with my pen. It's a great stress reliever. And then I'm gonna do some lines around my layout because I feel like it helps it. It kind of frames it and really kind of grounds everything. So I just always do either 2 or 3 lines just to make it a little thicker and a little imperfect. So I'm just fast forwarding here to the end when I'm finished with the lines. And that's what my layout is for today. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!